Uganda is one of the developing countries that still has a lot of requirements in an industry of construction. Every Ugandan you see is either planning to build a house or is thinking about having a dream that is going to put on. Here are some of the steps or requirements that you need to follow if you are going to have a construction plan that can be approved and you can use in this country. Hello, this is Asimu Timothy. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you find this information very helpful. So let's see the requirements for approving a plan. If you're going to construct any building in Uganda, you must have an approved plan for you to continue and do the construction. Many Ugandans do not have enough information about the construction requirements. So these are the requirements if you're going to approve a plan in Uganda. The system has changed. Long time we used to have direct construction without plans. Later we came with an evolution where the councils would approve plans. Now we have come to another evolution where now the system is controlled online using a system called BIMS. BIMS simply meaning the Building Information Management System, which has been enrolled all over all councils in our country. So whoever wants to build a plan, you have to know that all the professions have to be involved in a plan. It starts with owning a land. Step number one, you must own a land. This is what they will all require on most of the councils in our country. You must have a land title which has a plot number, a block number, and it is in your names. And those who have not achieved or got the land titles, they are still asking for purchase agreements. You must have a purchase agreement showing that you are the real owner of the land. So one of the first requirements is to have a land title or to have a proper ownership of the land, because the system accepts that for you to proceed and have an approved plan. After that, you are going to have a consultant or an architect who is going to draw for you a plan. It reduces now with the size of the project. Those who have multi-story structures, there are requirements for them. Those who have single-story structures, there are also requirements for them. And those who have small houses, there are also requirements for them. So in the system that they have enrolled over all councils, they have graded different structures based on different stages or different sizes they occupy. So with the small structures, you are going to have mostly proper ownership, which is a land title. Then you have an architectural drawing, which is very clear, showing all the house you are going to develop, showing proper location, showing a boundary location, so that the council can easily identify the size you are going to develop and assess you to pay some tax or development fees and approval fees that you are going to give the government. So that is one of the requirements for small houses, the bungalows and everything. You must have a land title, then you must have an architectural plan, which is going to be satisfied with a registered architect. With this system which has come and that is enrolled online, the architect usually is going to confirm your plan through the system which is online. So you design the plan, it's submitted online, they assess the development fees which you pay into the bank, then the architect is going to certify your work online even before you proceed. So the system has changed a bit from the previous one whereby it was manual. You first design the plan, after designing it you take it for stamping, then the architect certifies it from there, then you take it to the council. So this time you talk with the client. So that is one of the requirements for all the plans that are starting. You need to understand what the law says, the construction laws of our country, Uganda, and what you are required for you to have to ensure that you build your property. So according to the law, we have got laws which have been guiding. One of the recent, apart from what has been put over the parliament, according to the Building Control Regulations 2020, each client or person who is going to develop in our country is supposed to engage in professionals who are in line with government regulations. One, those professions must be registered, they must be active, they must be paying taxes, and they must be able to be recognized by different organizations which are recognized by the government to regulate those professions. That's what the law says. So that as compliant professionals, that could be an architect, structural engineer, electrical engineer, and a mechanical engineer, and also a registered engineer. All these professionals must be professionals that are compliant with government rules and regulations. So that is one of the things that you have to consider if you are going to consider preparing drawings that are going to be submitted in the online system, which is called BIMS, the Building Information Management System, which has been enrolled all over different councils in the country. So these are drawings that you are going to consider to submit to councils for approval based on the size or based on the size of the project that you are going to develop. The projects have been divided into classes A, B, C, starting with class C, which is the smallest, possibly with 30 square meters and less. Then B, a bit of bigger projects which are above 30 square meters. Then A, these are very, very big projects which are complicated and cover large surface areas in development. So these are the drawings that you have to consider. For small projects which have less than 30 square meters, you might need an architectural plan which is certified by a professional who is an architect. You can also do a boundary opening so that you get to know how your land is, carry out a search to confirm proper ownership in the government system vis-a-vis the land titles that you have. So the drawings that we need on other projects, or which are bigger, class C and B, are usually architectural plans which are fully certified with a practicing compliant architect. Then we have civil or structural plans which are fully certified with a compliant structural or civil engineer who is registered. Then we have got what we call electrical engineering installation plans. These have been introduced and now they are compulsory on the BIMS system and they are everywhere on all councils, and these are also require a registered practicing electrical engineer. Then we have what we call mechanical engineering installation plans. They are also now a must, which are now common, and they are also on the system. Then we have what we call a boundary opening survey report. This is also done by a surveyor who is also certified and compliant to the organization that leads surveyors. So those are the 5 drawings that you need if you are going to approve a plan on the current system, which is the BIMS system that the government is using in approval of plans. You need architectural drawings, structural drawings, mechanical installation plans. Then also we need the electrical installation plans. Then we also need the survey report or the boundary opening to show what's there. So what happens in the process of approval nowadays, that's why when we're doing architectures, we need coordinates of location. The system can locate your plot and we tend to see what is existing on ground. Then they usually also require other stakeholders, especially the LC1, to give you a letter of introduction to ensure that the land has no issues. Because we have got a lot of land issues in the country, so they have put that system to ensure that they control those issues from ground up into the government system. So you need also a national ID for proper identification, then the photocopy of the land title, which also goes with hand in hand with the opening of the boundaries. Those are the comprehensive documents you need if you're going to approve your system, your plans in this country, Uganda, currently using the BIMS system, which has been enrolled over all councils. With the new system of approval, after submitting all your required plans, as per the new system, which is the BIMS, the Building Information Management System, then of course your different professionals who are compliant will also approve online. They'll get messages on their portals because the system has also been built by approvals. But there are stages of what you get first and what you get next. The first thing you secure is what you call the development permit. The development permit is what you first get after providing the details of ownership, the opening of boundaries, and the proposal to develop an area. The development permit helps the government or people in the council to first see what development is going to be taking place on that piece of land and whether it is viable and whether it is acceptable. So when you have all those requirements, which are ownership, the land title with the clear names and ownership, you have the LC1 letter to introduce you, you have got the national ID to confirm ownership of the land and the owner or the developer. Then you do boundary opening to ensure that they confirm that every boundary of the plot is in line with the current land title. Then you have a proposed plan that you are going to develop, submitted to the system. So a building officer or his assistant helps you, that's in the physical planning office, helps you in confirming the development and see whether it aligns with the government future plans of the area, because you have got different zoning that has come up in a country. That's where we have industrial areas, we have got development areas or residential areas, then we have got cities, we have also got different areas that have been designated for different purposes. It is now hard for you to develop like residential apartment in a zone which has been demarcated as an industrial area. Like we have seen Namanve, we have seen different industrial areas in different parts of the country. So the first thing you secure is what we call a development permit. So the physical planning office is going to help you and tell you how much money you're going to pay for it. Then you first get that permit. So that's the first permit you secure in the current system if you're going to do approved drawings. So when you have that proposal of yours, you submit it online, then they do assessment, they tell you the money to pay, then they give you that development that is required, which is the development permit. After you have received what we call a development permit, it simply means your project is tallying properly with the requirements of the government and also your targets, and has got all the requirements for it to proceed to the next level. So you are going to get an approval from the council, which has what we call the development permit. Then we go to the next stage, whereby you are going to prepare all the drawings that are required. As we told you in the beginning, those are architectural plans, fully submitted online on the BIM system. Then we have the structural plans, fully submitted online. Then we have electrical installation plans, fully submitted online. Then we have the mechanical installation plans, fully submitted online. Of course, with the land titles and the boundary opening, since they are already used in the request or application for the development permit. So those are the things that now you put in online for the entire physical planning to go through your development. Nowadays, the system has changed a bit, whereby the National Review Board overlooks the whole system to assess and ensure everything moves as per government requirements. So the physical planning team will sit to see all other drawings to ensure that all compliant professionals have been involved in the development of that plan and also certification. So when they find that everything is compliant, still expect three things. One, expect approval for the development or for building permit, or the deferral if they find there are some things which are missing. Then, or you find that there's total rejection if the entire drawings do not satisfy the building standards of the country. So those are three things you expect from your submission for the building permit. And when everything is okay, you get your approved drawings with a certificate or the permit, which we call the building permit, and then you go and start executing your plan on ground. After acquiring a building permit and a development permit, then you are good to go. It simply means the government has given permissions to go and start. They request for supervision of the professionals who will be engaged in your execution of the project, which card they will call a job card, whereby those professionals involved in supervision are going to be signing as a commitment. On the bigger projects, which are especially class A and B, they will also require for a professional registered company that is going to be executing the building of works. So after getting those plans that are fully satisfied and you are ready now to commence the construction, you will write a notice or a letter of notice to the council to let them know that your project is going to commence, so that they will always be willing or be ready to come and notice and supervise every level. And every level must be also supervised by different professionals that have committed to supervise the works, so that they follow all regulations as per National Review Board during the process of construction. So that's what happens post approval. One of the questions asked mostly is, do my plans once approved ever expire? Definitely yes, plans which are approved can expire. According to the section 17 of building rules and regulations, it states that there is a lapse of approval of election, alteration and addition that has not been commenced within the 18 months after the date of approval. If the commencement has been made as foresaid, but the building or work is not completed within 2 years and 6 months from the date of approval, then a developer is required to request for the resumption of the permit. Remember, they give you the building permit. If in 18 months you have not started the construction of your works, or you start them and you want to change or have some alterations and you have not completed within a period of 2 years, you have to apply for the development or building permit once again. This is to help, and they will assess to see whether you are still within the locations that you are in, if the government has not changed any laws or zoning of your area for your plan to proceed. So meaning that every 2 years, your plan, if not completed, possibly it has already expired. You have to again ask for permit to resume, because they give you 18 months from the day of approval to start and commence, and they give you other 2 years to ensure that you complete the construction of works. But most people have got plans for 5 years which have expired and they don't know. So that is what happens with the plan. It can expire. So always make sure you execute your works within the stipulated time according to the law. At least start construction works and complete within first 18 months, then the other 2 years that are given. After everything has been done professionally, following all the laws, using approved plans without alterations, and the structure has been completed in stipulated time according to the law, then the developer will secure what we call occupation permit. This is what shows that you followed everything that was required and the plan was as built as it was designed and approved by the government. The occupation permit will be given to you, and that's when your structure will be allowed to be used by the public following all the building laws. So requirements for occupation permit, of course they will send a building officer to assess everything that was done, whether it follows the plan. If there are alterations and deviations, you'll be requested to do as-built plans, do the structural integrity plans, submit them to the council, and you go through the process where they will vet and go through and ensure that your work conforms to the building laws. Then they will give you the permit that is going to allow you to occupy your structure. So that's the last stage of having a fully approved plan in our country, Uganda.